Hey, what's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the After Action Report for a game that has probably taken about 5 years off my life. Because, oh my goodness, just everything going on crazy, just, bonkers. Right up into the end there, like we weren't seeing who was going to win this game because it really was coming down to every action mattered.
Yeah, 100%.
Every action mattered, and the game did not go the way I anticipated it was going to go. Your Sentinel Prime picked up that objective very early on, and I thought, that's it. That's throwing it in the towel. No, oh my goodness, this game. This was fun.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm very angry that Darkstar survived that car. that infuriates me to no end, especially considering I just got off a conversation with somebody online about how Brace is too powerful of a card. And I'm thinking, like, no. I mean, you didn't need Brace at all. You just friggin' took it like a champ and...
Cars mean nothing to the power of the dark side.
We are Russian. We have cars thrown at us daily. That might be vaguely offensive. I don't know. But anyway, let's start us off. The squads. I noticed you didn't have a bear. I'm a little disappointed.
I don't like the bear. I don't need the bear. And frankly, the bear upsets me. I think his 4 threat is just a little bit too much. And while I like his aggressive in his charge, I often find that the rest of his team can't really keep up with him, and he gets into situations where he probably needs to be he needs bigger people with him, and I don't think that the rest of the Winter Guard really support that.
Now, I will say this. I think having the extra throw from Bear Arm Brawler actually would have done you a lot of work in this particular game.
Well...
Especially over here, like if you could have been like throwing Laura around or Cable around or something like that.
The only person who would be replaced by that is either Crimson Dynamo, which kind of shouldn't, or
Prime,
which I definitely feel the Prime.
Or Mordo.
Mordo's only 3.
Mordo's only 3, but I mean...
There's no other slots I could really do, so...
Well, I mean, you could do Mordo and get rid of Darkstar. And
Mordo, Darkstar, and replace it with a bear and
It's
Wong?
a bear.
And Wong?
It's a bear. I'm sorry, I don't understand this conversation. It's a bear.
I really liked a lot of what the Winter Guard brought. I love that shake. That shake was amazing the entire game, no matter what.
It's so frustrating to deal with.
I'm sitting there like, bleed? Oh, that means nothing. Okay, cool, keep going. Shoot.
So many times I'm like, yes, I got the condition off, and it's like, wait a minute. It's just going to be shaken. That is so infuriating to deal with. Sadly, I didn't really get to force you into your other part of your leadership, where you can just kind of like stay put when you're holding an objective. But I mean, outside of Gambit, I didn't really have any pushes kicking around here, right?
Yeah.
I will say this. I mean, I kind of joke on Darkstar, but she did get some work done for you this game.
She may not be good enough in Winter Guard only because she really needs a team that's giving her lots of power or giving her some way to use her superpowers for cheap.
But you know what? I would say every time you used her power, it did something for you.
Yeah.
More or less. Like, let's ignore the fact that some of your defense dice for the first 3 rounds were a little cold.
Yes.
I felt Darkstar did get some work for you. Crimson Dynamo, I don't know. He was.
Once I realized how his powers worked, he worked great.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like his 2 power thing felt almost as powerful as Darkstar's 3 power thing.
Now, mind you, a lot of the time it just re-rolled into the same results.
Sure, but oftentimes it felt like I was able to put you a dice or 2 behind. And that's not bad.
That's fair enough.
And it's only 2 power, and he generates power a lot easier than Darkstar does. So
I will say I don't think you made liberal enough use of restraint cables for Prime.
I agree, but as it turns out, I didn't want your guys any closer to me. They were coming on their own.
Which is fair enough. I'm just thinking, like, with the restraint cables in, you would have at least had better opportunities to beat up my guys a little bit more.
I was never at a lack for foes this game. The only person I would have tried to restrain cables is Cable, and unfortunately he was always at 5 instead of 4.
And we'll get to Cable in a second here. I will say it's a little unfortunate that Red Guardian kind of got isolated. over
Yeah.
here. Got into a fight with the Cajun, and it kind of didn't really go anywhere.
Mostly lost. If he didn't call in the Air Force, I think he would not have held up the side.
Yeah, Sovereign Strike was actually way more impactful than I would have figured.
Yeah.
Because it got Gambit, and it hurt Domino a little bit, which was big. This was interesting. I joked a lot of the game that this was so inconsequential over here, and what do you know? It ended up being a game-winning point.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Just this little fight between the Red Guardian and Gambit. Gambit, who I'm still very upset with. I still feel he's very inconsistent for me.
But I need you to remember that despite the fact he did very little damage for what you wanted him to do, he won you the game.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. He didn't die this game, so I'll give him props for that.
He didn't die, and he captured points from a guy who's at the same threat level. So I feel like, if nothing else, he exonerated himself.
Fair
and I
enough.
used a card against him.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we'll give Gambit a pass in this particular round. I gotta say, Rogue went down a little bit faster than I anticipated, but she also took the brunt of your entire team almost.
Yeah, and Mordo was doling out extra damage to make sure that she went down.
And that last suppression protocols that you put into her, just kind of like, yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
We're tired of this. It would have been nice if I got one more action out of Rogue, but I think one more action out of Rogue probably also would have put the game in my favor a round or two earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I spent a lot of time chasing down that stupid Sentinel.
Definitely. And honestly, I was very happy about that. That was the way to do it. So
You had to do it. She was a huge threat, right?
Yeah.
She was fully powered up. She was going to start throwing people around.
Well, and I was a little power starved, I felt. So because I was using all this defensive tech trying to not die.
I forced you to use a lot of dice.
And one of the things that Rogue does very well is when she starts going around and sapping power, all of a sudden.
Mutant absorption and such, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. I got to give props to Sentinel Prime. It stood up to a lot of punishment. It lasted a full round longer than I wanted it to.
And Crimson Dynamo would like to add, he has some amazing poses, so that's great.
There we go. I got to give special shout out though to Cable. He did work for me this game. He did a lot of work. He put a lot of damage into Sentinel Prime, and he got a lot of points for me.
So as someone who's played Cable, I'm mostly chalking up Cable's performance today to my first 3 turns of very, very poor dice rolls. He ended up getting fully powered off of his plasma blasts, and a plasma rifle, but every time I've used him, he has made 1 or 2 power max off of those, and I'm watching you get 3 power off of these things.
Your cold defense rolls definitely help. One other thing, he even would have been even bigger MVP if I had realized earlier on that his shield was range 3.
Yes,
because that would have kept Rogue alive.
Yeah,
right.
That could have been the thing that made or break the game.
Yeah, so that was a goof on my part there. But no, I think he did a lot of work for me. Domino did a lot of work for me. X23 was a trooper. She's just awesome. Because she came in, she did a whole bunch of work. She got she dazed and KO'd Mordo, I think. No. Yeah. She dazed Crimson Dynamo. She put Sentinel Prime into a daze and a KO position.
Yep.
She got a lot of work done for me, and just eventually, you dummied her, but you did it by using a bunch of people to do it.
Yeah.
So she did good work for me. So I'm very happy with X23 on that front. Overall, I think I liked both our squads. I think they were both fun. I don't think I'd call either of them terribly competitive.
No.
Yours, they had competitive aspects and elements to it. I don't think they were either bad teams.
I think that Winter Guard needs a little something more, or it needs a couple more aces in its sleeves.
I don't know. I think Winter Guard performed rather well. We did go right to the wire on this one, right?
Sure, but
and also let's point out, 2 of my guys are KO'd, and the 3 remaining ones are all on their injured side.
Well, I have 2 guys KO'd, and I have just Darkstar, who's not flipped on his injured side, her injured side, and she's at 1 health.
No, that's fair enough. I understand what you're saying there.
And it's mostly because she can dodge cars.
But you also had far more support pieces on the table. I had far more aggression pieces on the table.
That's fair.
And you still came out pretty decently,
yeah.
all things considered, right? But either way, I liked both squads. I think they were both a lot of fun to see. Didn't get to see Comrade's Keeper go off.
But unfortunately, that was just how the course of the battle went.
You know Comrade's Keeper can trigger off him too, eh?
Oh, yeah, I was aware, and I was waiting for a really good opportunity. Most of the damage that got dealt to him was from Gambit's Counter-Strike thing. So
Okay, that is true. I didn't really target him with a lot of attacks.
yeah, like you threw the aces at him, and I was like, no, I want to be on this point. So
the 52 card pickup just disappointed me again.
yeah,
As it does. I feel like 50 card 2 pickup being at 5 dice for 4 power just angers me so much.
yeah,
Angers me. It should either be 3 power or 6 dice. Just really annoying there. But overall, yeah, no, it was fun. I liked the Sovereign Strike there. That was really good stuff. I do find it funny that halfway through the game I made a comment. It's like, yeah, sometimes you just don't use your cards, and then like the next 2 rounds, like all the cards got used. I don't think Dark Past really did much. Well, I guess it kind of did something for me because it kept Domino and Gambit you just didn't bother with them that round.
I definitely had like big plans about trying to bring my guys up onto that building and actually trying to lure you to the building so I could do my big strike. But as it turns out, I wasn't going to be able to target them, so it was fine.
And then my Pretty Sneaky Sis kept me in the game, I think, that round.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I lost at least one action
For both of them.
Yeah.
Because you needed to get within range too, right?
Well, with Crimson Dynamo, I spent 2 power, but that also probably won you the game, so yeah.
I think Pretty Sneaky Sis actually, I used it at the right time. I think it came in clutch for me on that one.
I agree.
Getting that patch up on Domino to make sure that she was fully healthy, just in case.
100%. I would have been able to drop her at the end there and win the game. So.
Yeah, so the cards really came in clutch for me this particular game.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish I had realized the range thing on Cable's Telekinesis Shield earlier.
Yep.
And I wish I'd remembered that he had to throw earlier, because he had power all game.
Yep.
There was very few times when he did not have the power. I could have been tossing a whole bunch more stuff at you.
Yeah,
for some free damage.
There wasn't too many in the area we were fighting, but you're right. There was the one car on this dumpster here that would have probably been
He could have thrown the size 4. Oh no, it's size. Up to 4. I could have thrown the Roxxon station at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I could have thrown it at you much earlier, and I probably should have done that. But
Domino spent a bunch of time on top of it.
She did. Well, you never attacked her on it, so it never really mattered. Domino's ability to not have crits explode on you. I think every time you rolled against Domino, I had to say, it's like, crits don't explode.
Yeah.
And that was huge. That was huge.
That was tough. It was disheartening as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But yeah, I think we've said what we've had to say about this game so far. We had a couple of mistakes that I feel like we caught pretty quickly. Otherwise, and I think we had fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for those of you watching, hopefully you enjoyed both the game and the quick discussion here. And just to recap, X-Force victory 19-17 against the Winter Guard. And we will see you next week. Happy wargaming.